All right, what's going on, man? Live stream today, man. We are here. What I'm saying, we're gonna be doing something a little different on this live stream. We're actually gonna be doing a plug-in review on this live stream right here, man. This one plug-in kind of dropped on yesterday, man, and the online music community, yeah, been making some noise about this one. And if you haven't heard because you've been busy on a work week, well, you came to the right place, man. We're gonna do, a review, a live review on the plugin on a lead vocal and kind of mix it up and put it on certain tracks and see what this plugin really is doing and what's the hype is about. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I ain't gonna even front with you, bro. I've been looking forward for this plugin to come out for a very long time. It's finally here. Ever since Kazrog has released the news in April of this year that they were going to be releasing the Avalon VT-747SP emulated plugin. I was like, yo, that's different right there. You know what I'm saying? I got excited because I had the chance to have, and I still have it, the UAD version of the Avalon VT-737SP plugin, and that was a gem right there, man. But they have the 747, and that's pretty cool right there. So we're gonna check this plugin out on some R&B vocals, and just to see, saying what the hype is all about and everything like that. If you're not familiar with Kazrog is a smaller plugin manufacturer that really makes some really good plugins. I mean, pretty much everything that they have in their repertoire, man, is fire. You know what I'm saying? Sound quality is awesome, and everything like that. And I think this collaboration with Avalon Designs has definitely put them on the map, man. For real, it's one of those knock out of the parks. It's kind of like that same plugin, the SP 1200 remake by Infinique. Kind of put them, to the forefront and really put their name out there. And I like what plugin companies are doing. They're collaborating with big name hardware manufacturers that kind of, they can't keep up with the manufacturing of the hardware device itself. So, what else to do? Let's go ahead and give this plugin manufacturer our designs, one of our rare pieces, and let them come up with a plugin of that particular hardware device that is rare. I like that. It helps, with the online music community. It helps learn about, a particular piece of hardware. And not only that, man, you just really having fun and you have another tool at your disposal and stuff like that, man. Regardless of all the people out there talking negative and shit like that, hey, man, let people talk. It's all about, enjoying what you're doing and enjoying the passion that you have and stuff like that. But, a little back history on the Avalon VT-747SP. This particular plug-in, again, is emulated by a piece of hardware that Avalon Designs had for a while, and it discontinued, I believe, in November of 2018 or whatnot. So unfortunately, if you're trying to buy one or get your hands on a 747, it's going to be on the used market, and that price range probably is anywhere between, I don't know, $2,500 to $3,000. You know what I'm saying? Just depends on the condition of that particular unit. You can still buy the 737, brand spanking new from like Sweetwater or something like that, but 747 is discontinued back in 2018. So if you do find one, hey, you got you a gem on your hands. But for anyone to own the plug-in, man, it's something to be proud of. And the mind-blowing thing about the 737 and the 747, in my opinion, don't hold me against this YouTube community. Stuff like that, but the thing that really sticks out on the Avalon 737 and 747 is the EQ section. I'm not really too much of a fan of the compressor section on both of these devices. I never worked on a 747, but I have worked on a 737 in two studios. One when I was in school, and another one when I was doing an internship. That particular studio had a 737, and I think I went to another studio and they had the 737 in there. And the only thing I can remember is the EQ section. The EQ section is on the 737 speaking. It has that top end. That top end, it's polished. It's sheen. It has a top end. It just gives a different type of air. Now we all talk about that air band on the Mog EQ4. I think that's the model name for the Mog. That blue plug-in, you know what I'm saying, with the different colors, knobs and stuff like that. We talk about that air band, and if you heard that, yeah, it's really nice. But the Avalon 737 and 747, they have that different type of top end, you know what I'm saying? It has a different circuit, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we're really, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, that what makes both of these devices stand out. Now, speaking on the 737, you know what I'm saying, it is a parametric EQ circuit. And with the 747, it is more of a, it has kind of like a graphic EQ type of EQ, but they call it a program EQ, but really it's a 6-band EQ, if you ask me, with 2 high shelves and 1 low shelf and 3 peaks, for as the bands is concerned, you know what I'm saying? So you can booster cut and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically the hype around the 747 is that EQ, in my opinion. That's what I like about it. But I wasn't really too thrilled with the compressor section on the 747. And I'm speaking on, you know what I'm saying, trying it out last night when I bought the license. And the 737 is the same thing as those two compressors. They behave very aggressively, but it's kind of like being on a waterbed. You know what I'm saying? You really can't get comfortable on a waterbed because every time you move, you're doing this. That's how I can, you know what I'm saying, explain the compressor on these two devices, especially the 737, actually using that hardware device and having the UAD plug-in. So the 747 kind of behaves the same way far as the plug-in is concerned or whatnot, man. So enough of all that yipping yapping. You came to this video to check out the plug-in and see what it do. So our use case scenario today is to apply the plug-in on a lead vocal. If we if I can get these tracks routed right, because this is a raw session, no mixing on this session, so everything is going to be raw, untreated vocals or whatnot. If I can get those hooks routed correctly, we'll also apply the plug-in on the hook just to see how it sound on a bus, far as a vocal bus. So we'll be working with a lead vocal, a vocal bus, and then we'll apply it to the actual instrumental bus as well. And then I think we got a couple of acoustical instruments in the instrumental as well, and we'll play around with that if we have time to or whatnot. So kick back, relax, man, and check it out and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go too deep dive into the plugin for us like every nook and cranny of the 747 because I really, you know what I'm saying, it's got videos out there, and you know, I'm quite sure Kazrog paid them for that or whatnot. So I'm just gonna give you really a real world review of it. That's why I'm doing a live stream on this right here, man. So whatever comes out. I'm not getting paid for this, you know what I'm saying? It all comes from right here in the heart, man. So because I like audio, I do this for a living, and it keeps the lights on and the internet paid for you to watch this video, man. So let's get up in Studio One and check this out right now. And just to let you guys know, and stuff like that, be respectful of my channel and stuff like that. If you got a comment, please be respectful of the comment, because I'm not the one to sit up there and get played and look like Boo Boo the Fool, you know what I'm saying? The glasses do come off. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Y'all gotta start respecting people for as what they do and what they're giving you guys or whatnot, man. A lot of people got a lot of loose lips, so that's a disclaimer right there, man. Please be kindful of that, and yeah, man. I just wanted to say that, man, because some of y'all, man, doing the most, and I'm the type of person I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? Because YouTube don't pay my bills, okay? So, you know what I'm saying? I give a damn about, you know what I'm saying, my channel and what people think about me. If you don't like me for who I am, you know the rest of the phrase if you my skin color. You feel me? So I just like to say it like that, man, and just keep it 100 with you guys, man. It's too much fakeness running around here, man. So that's my 2 cents on that, man. So that was just a disclaimer. But we got Studio One open right now. So let's get up in here. So everything that you see in green is going to be the lead vocals. I'm gonna try to monitor the chat session as much as I possibly can for anyone watching. As of right now, I think I got 0 people on here, but I keep my eyes over here and over here as well. So in green we have the lead vocal, right, and in yellow we have what the artist has recorded is the hook session, and then what's in red is the bridge. All right, and we'll try to apply it as needed, or whatnot. And at the bottom right here in the gold tracks is the instrumental and everything like that, man. So yeah, man, we definitely get that popping. So let's focus on, saying, the actual lead. So let's go to our mixer window and take all of these tracks and route them to the lead vocal bus that I have in my template here. So we're just going to highlight all those tracks there, and we're just going to route that to the lead box bus. Boom, just like that. Just go ahead and double check that real quick. All right, cool deal, man. We are good to go on that. I'm just going to throw my picture at the bottom right corner there. All right, so we're going to focus on that. The green tracks, we are on the lead box track, which is right here. Let's run some audio through there just to confirm. Criticize me and cut. All right, cool deal. We got that right there. Let's bring up that vocal bus. The instrumental bus. I finally found the strength to leave you behind. So you can hear that the vocal is very, very raw, or whatnot, and everything like that. So let's go ahead and pull up the plugin itself. Here it is right here. If you haven't heard it or seen it in living color and you just only seen pictures, well, here it is right here. It looks almost similar to matter of fact, to me, it looks the same far as the GUI is concerned with the UAD 737. It's just different EQ section, different compressor section, far as, saying everything under the hood and whatnot. It's different, but just has the same classic look of that particular device or whatnot. The good thing about this, just talking about the GUI real quick, is you can switch from the classic silver face or you can go to the black face. I like the black face. It just looks better, viewing and everything like that, man. As mentioned before, you have the program equalizer section, which is the 6-band EQ section right here. You got the compressor section over here. The only thing that really stands out on this particular plugin really is you have a 10 dB boost for us on the input signal. So what that does is it's going to apply 10 dB of extra gain to give you more of a tube overdriven saturation type of situation. And then right here, you'll see something that says TSP, tube signal path. Basically, you have a class A discrete type of signal path going on when this is off, so it's a clean signal, clean discrete signal, but when you engage this will throw in more of a tube a tube type of flavor into the signal itself, or whatnot. Now if I explain that wrong, please don't hold me to the comments, but in a nutshell, man, that's basically what it is. You either want tube type of signal or you want a discrete type of signal. In a nutshell, we could talk about the science stuff all day, every day, but when it's off, you're getting more of a discrete signal. When it's on, you're getting more of a tube type signal or whatnot. It's at your preference for your sound source, how the stuff is recorded, how it sounds with the instrumental, all of those different factors play in and whatnot. So it's on you. We're going to try it out on the lead vocal, see if it works with the track. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, you could throw the EQ circuit before the compressor, or you could throw the compressor circuit as by default. The compressor circuit is in, the compressor circuit, then EQ circuit. Okay. And if you don't know what this is, because some people don't know, this is a VU meter. That's all I'm gonna explain about the plugin. Y'all came here to hear it on some R&B vocals. Let's go. One more thing. You see these two knobs in the middle of the compressor, and these two knobs right here at the bottom. That is the sidechain function. Just picture it like this. You have your low frequencies right here, and you have your high frequencies right here. You utilize these two knobs to find the frequencies, and you can cut or boost those frequencies for the behavior of the compressor. So in a nutshell, or in layman's terms, if you have bass that's causing pumping in your compression, you can utilize the left side of the sidechain threshold section to fine tune the bass frequencies, and you can make adjustment for this threshold knob right here to take out some of that bass frequencies, so you can have more of a smoother compression. That way it doesn't sound like it's pumping. Same thing on the high end side. You may have some high mids in the vocals, or a hi-hat or a cymbal that's just really sticking out in the mix, and it's causing the behavior of the compressor, it's causing the behavior of the compressor to kind of duck or sound like it's pumping. Same situation. Okay, we'll play with it on the mix bus for us, the instrumental, if we have something that sticks out. But I just wanted to throw that in there. That way you're not lost if I'm fiddling around with it and stuff like that. All right, cool. Enough of that yip, man. Let's go ahead. We got it on the lead vocal right here. Let's see here. And it's a resizable GUI, so we can shrink it up here, or we can make it super big, just like that. All right, cool. So we're gonna shrink it up so we can fit it on the live stream here. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and play this lead vocal and get started. I normally, when I'm using something like this plugin with a channel strip type of situation, in the Avalon 737 and the 747, Sweetwater did this channel strip shootout, and the Avalon 737 was in there. They called this a channel strip, but it's not labeled from Avalon as a channel strip. So we just gonna say channel strip. All right. So what I like with channel strips is throwing the EQ circuit before the compressor. That's my preference. Don't hold me to it. There's no right or wrong way. And the reason why I say that, because I asked the same question when I was in audio school to my professor. I was like, well, which one is which and which one is the right way? He said, whatever sounds good. And that saying is, if it sounds good, it is good. So in my case, with my ears, I like the EQ before the compressor. So we're gonna turn the pre button on, and then we're gonna play around with the EQ. Now, remind you, this is the lead vocal. We're gonna EQ it, play around with it, and see what's going on with it. Let's get some signal in there here. I finally found the strength to leave you behind. Now I can see. I feel complete. What we're gonna do is mute this section right here, the yellows. That way we can focus on the lead. All right, and right here. All right, let's bring that back to the plugin. Sorry about that, y'all. I told you this is a live review. All right, cool. Let's throw that back in there. So we just had to get some signal pushing through. You were never that good to me anyway. Criticize me and cut me down every day. I finally found the strength to leave you behind. So when we push this input, you'll see that we got some compression going on right there. And by default, I didn't mess with it. Y'all saw me. I pulled up the plugin and whatnot. It's by default the compressor is on. So keep thought of that or whatnot. And by default, it's set at about 5.5 to 1 on the ratio. If you don't want to hear compression, just bring it down to 1 to 1, and you're good to go. Or you could just simply turn it off. So we're just simply going to turn it off. Oh, now I can see. Oh, I feel complete. Yeah. Oh, I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities. Yeah. Oh, perfect for you. If I don't love me too, yeah. Oh, I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true. Yeah. I'm good without you. I'm good without you. Whoa, 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 yeah. All right, cool. So we're gonna stop right there on that particular clip, right here. All right, so we got a EQ section. It's not the best in the world. I mean, like I said, it's a graphic EQ. You can only work with the bands that you're given. Let's stop right here and talk about the bands real quick. All right. So what I did was the low shelving band on this particular program EQ is at 15 hertz. All right. So if you really was to look at the backside of a 747, and I'm only talking from the pictures that I have seen, this is actually the hardware unit is a stereo type of hardware device. So it's probably meant to be on mixed buses and, on main tracks and stuff like that, or, effects buses or whatever the case may be. But, 15 hertz, that's really low. Standard is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, right? But this extends another 5 hertz below 20 at 15 hertz. So this probably would be good, if you have this on an overall mix. Excuse me, or whatnot. But in this case, I mean, we're using it on vocals. So I mean, to me, on vocals, it'll bring down the low end, but still you're way down there. And so you'll still have a little bit of that, deepness in the vocal and everything like that, because the human voice really doesn't go down to 15 hertz or whatnot. But we had to do what we had to do because that's what's given on the low shelving end. Now on the peaking shelf or whatnot, or they call it just a regular band, EQ band or whatnot, this is 125 hertz. Once we start making this adjustment, now you got that bell shape. That's what I was looking for at that term. We got the bell shape. So we turned that bell shape down, and we really start hearing the effect then. Yeah, and I'm quite sure that the curves are very gentle slopes, regardless if they're bell or if they're shelving or whatnot. I don't have one of those analyzers to make the adjustments and see it or whatnot, but you have to use your imagination, or whatever the case may be. The next bell shape is 500. Okay, this one right here is at 2,000 hertz. The first shelving is at 5,000 on the shelf. Okay, so you got 2,000 on this bell shape right here. Then you go up to 5,000 on the high shelf. All right. And then we're just going to call this the super high shelf because it goes beyond 20,000 hertz. You're looking at 32,000 hertz. So, I mean, the human ear probably can't even hear that. But I'm quite sure that slope is a long slope. So it really kind of brings out that air or some type of presence and add that sheen to the vocals. You see me start creeping it up there a little bit, and you start seeing that vocal start to bright up a little bit. I didn't want to go too aggressive with it and everything like that, but definitely when I play this vocal back, I'm gonna turn off the EQ button, and you'll hear the difference in the vocal, hopefully, and stuff like that. So let's see what happens. We'll start it right here and turn the EQ circuit on and off and see what happens here.
Wondered why you never fought for me, never saved me from all life's atrocities. I finally understand how I've been so blind. Hey, now I can see how I feel complete.
All right, cool. So you can hear a little difference in there. Now let's go and do some extreme measures on the EQ or whatnot. So we have it on the version A. We're just gonna switch over to version B here, and we're gonna keep that look right there. That way we know we're working with two different things. And now we're gonna turn this compressor off here, and let's match. Let's see here. This is at 1.9. So let's go here at 1.9 there on point. And let's throw this one right here. And yep, we should be good to go. All right, cool deal. And how I know I'm matching the exact same parameters. If you're new, or not new, but if you know anything about Studio One, you have exact parameter values right up here at the top left corner. So that's how I know I can match it verbatim. Now on this silver face, we're gonna go very extreme on the EQ curves just to hear, you know what I'm saying, what these frequencies are doing. All right, let's play it back right here again.
You were never that good to me anyway. Criticize me and cut me down.
So that one move on that 32,000 band really puts that that vocal, it gives it that sheen, that like hot breath. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, hot breath in Phoenix. You feel what I'm saying? So let's turn that on and off and just let's focus in on the 32,000 band right there. All right, here we go.
To me anyway, criticize me and cut me down every day. I finally found the strength to leave you behind.
All right, so I hope you can hear the difference on that or whatnot. Now watch when I you know what I'm saying, let's bring up the bell shape of the 2000 band, right? And we're just gonna forget about the 5000 band, and we're gonna see what this EQ do, and you know what I'm saying, see if the high mids are a little bit too brittle due to the air that we kind of getting, you know what I'm saying. So to me, I'm really wanting that sound from this vocal, you know what I'm saying, with that high shelving, that really crispy air coming out of the vocal or whatnot. All right, so let's boost up this 2000 bell shape right here.
Oh, now I can see. Oh, I feel complete. Yeah. Oh.
All right, so it does a real good job with staying with that bell shape and not getting in the way of this particular shelving curve here. I didn't hear any difference on the top end of the vocal, so that's really, really good. Now, I already know, you can just double click on this, by the way, to bring it back at default. So I already know right here on the 5000 shelf, this bad boy is gonna scream. Let's go ahead and do that.
I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities. Yeah. Oh, perfect for you.
All right, you can hear it right there. I didn't want to push it too much because you're gonna start hearing a lot of the S's and everything like that. So I didn't want to, you know, saying pierce anyone ears or whatnot. Okay, cool. So those are some extreme measures right there. Let's find out where the meat of the vocal is just by pushing some stuff up. Okay.
If I don't love me too, oh, I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true. Yeah, I'm good without you. I'm good without you. Whoa, whoa, yeah.
All right, this particular band, which is that 2000, really gives it that nasally type of sound. So we can peak it just a little bit, but we can't really go crazy with it. Let's start it right here.
Always wondered why you never fought for me, never saved me from all life's a try.
So that's basically the curve we got here versus what we did here on A. So let's go back and compare the two right here.
If I don't love me too, oh, I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true. Yeah, I'm good without you. I'm good without you.
So, you know what I'm saying, what we did on this lead vocal, I mean, we just kind of played around with the EQ. Both of them sound pretty, you know, presentable or whatnot, and everything like that. So now let's just go ahead and hear the compressor in action. We're going to go ahead and I'm just going to stick on the B version of what we made changes and everything like that. All right, so let's go ahead and throw the compressor in here just by being fair. Let's bring that all the way down to 1-to-1, and let's bring our because me personally, when I'm compressing vocals, I like to have a fast attack and a fast release. That's gonna give me, you know what I'm saying, instant behavior coming out of that compressor. I don't want to have to fiddle around with the timing and then going back and forth between the threshold and the ratio. I mean, you could do that, but I'm not gonna do that. Man, look, give me some compression ASAP. You feel me? So what we're gonna do is just basically, you know what I'm saying, put our ratio. Let's go ahead and put our ratio on 4-1. Okay. And we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna put that on 4-1 right there. All right. That way, when we kick in the compressor, you know what I'm saying, or start utilizing it or whatever the case may be, we could just adjust that threshold. All right. Let me make sure that this is all the way fast, all the way fast. All right. We good to go. And let's bring our threshold all the way. That way it's not behaving. And let's do the same thing here. All right. And let's double check that. All right, cool. We good to go. All right, so let's start with the silver one because, you know what I'm saying, we have this EQ curve here that I like. Let's start right here at the beginning. Let's go.
You were never that good to me anyway. Criticize me and cut me down every day.
Oh, let's turn it on first.
Finally found the strength to leave you behind. Oh, now I can see. Oh, I feel complete, yeah. Oh, I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities, yeah. Oh, perfect for you. If I don't love me too, yeah. Oh, I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true, yeah. I'm good without you. I'm good without you. Whoa, yeah.
All right, let's stop right there. I like the compression that we got going on. We definitely starting to hear a squeeze in the vocal without like squashing it like it's a rap vocal or anything like that. You don't want to do that with R&B. You kind of want to let some of those dynamics do what it do. But it's, again, it's all about hearing. I'm not too much tuned in because we just trying to hear what the hell the plugin is doing. Okay. So in this case right here, let me go ahead and make up the gain. So what I'm gonna be doing is turning on, off, just to make sure that the gain is retained when the plug-in, the compressor circuit is on and it's off and stuff like that. Let's go.
To me anyway, criticize me and cut me down every day. I finally found the strength to leave you behind. Oh, now I can see. Oh, I feel complete, yeah. Oh, I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities, yeah. Oh, perfect for you. If I don't love me too.
All right, cool. I like that. I like the sound of it and everything like that. It's sounding really, really polished and everything. If you notice this green light coming in right there, that's just a gain reduction indicator. Basically what this is doing right here. All right, cool deal. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do a combination of things. I'm gonna turn the overall plugin on and off. I kind of want to see how this vocal sounds with nothing on it. So basically bypassing this plugin and then kicking it in just to see what's the difference. How does it sound? You know what I'm saying? Is this the right channel strip we need to be using for the vocal or anything like that? You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and just play around with bypassing the plugin. And then after I do that, I'm going to kind of play around with the tube signal path. So we're going to turn that off. So we're going to see how it sounds without the tube signal path and then with the discrete signal path. And we're just going to play around with it and see what sounds good. And then after that, we're going to kick in that 10 dB of extra gain so we can get that overdriven tube saturation from the input signal and to see how it's going to thicken up those vocals. Now, the artist did record on a ribbon mic. I think it is a, what ribbon mic that is? It's a RE20 ribbon mic from, I think the model number is the RH20, but it's a ribbon mic. I think the price point around that ribbon mic is around about $200 something. I may be wrong on that, but I know it was a ribbon mic for sure that he sung on. So it definitely has that top end that, you know what I'm saying, that ribbon mics, or it kind of gives you, you know what I'm saying, very detailed type of capture of the vocal or whatnot. So it sounded really good with this Avalon plugin so far. But like I said, you know what I'm saying, bypass the plugin, play around with a couple of things in the compressor section, and just to see what happens. If I stop, explain what's going on, don't hold me to it. All right, let's go.
You were never that good to me anyway. Criticize me and cut me down every day. I finally found the strength to leave you behind. Oh, now I can see. Oh, I feel complete. Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and turn up the output.
I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities. Yeah. Oh, perfect for you. If I don't love me too, yeah.
Yeah. Said. What's going on with you, man? Let's see here. He said, that is pretty drastic in the vocal tone. Yeah, it's a bit extreme. I'm probably doing a little bit too much. I'm on headphones, so you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm doing it too much on purpose, stuff like that. But yeah, it definitely. I have this philosophy. If anyone's watching playback, the video playback, or if you're watching live, this is my philosophy, and this philosophy has. Yeah, I know it's cool, bro. Yeah. It's definitely cool. And to follow up with what you said about you like it, and I'm gonna kick that on the screen. All right. So this is my philosophy to what Cedric is saying. If a plugin, if you can hear, if you ever worked on any hardware, it could be a god doggone freaking guitar pedal, for example, you know what I'm saying, or a EQ pedal right here and stuff like that. When you make changes to these type of hardware processors, you're instantaneously gonna hear something. A lot of times with plugins, when you make a change with your mouse, you feel me? You have to turn it a little bit more than what your mind is programmed to do. So let's say you want to hear a boost in the 2000 bell range or whatever the case may be. In your head, if you know frequencies by heart, you know what I'm saying? That's another skill set. But if you know frequencies and you know what that 2000 sounds like, especially on an artist that you've been recording for a very long time, if you know what that sounds like and you make that change with your mouse and your brain doesn't receive that change you do with your thumb or your finger, then you're having to overcompensate, you know what I'm saying? You're having to overcompensate what you're trying to push or pull from that particular frequency or whatever parameter that you're working on. So the theory is that if you have to do more working with your mind for as what you turn on a parameter, that plugin is probably not coded right, or it's not as close. No plugin is not going to be close to the hardware. Let's just get that out the bag and get that out the way real quick. But, you know what I'm saying, a plugin is always going to be close if you make a change to that parameter and you can instantly hear the change. This is what this plugin does right here. When you make a change to something, you instantaneously hear it. So you don't have to think 3 seconds ahead or 3 seconds back and try to figure out within that 6-second range of saying, well, I hope it's here, or I think it's here. Let me push it up a little bit more. Let me boost it up real quick and hear it or whatnot. This plugin, in my opinion, it does that. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't came across a plugin like this in a while. The only other plugins that I know of that kind of give you instantaneously changes when you change a parameter with your mouse or whatnot is Plugin Alliance, SSL, the native bundle, and it's another one out there. I'm trying to run through my doggone Rolodex here. Let me see here. Let me go to effects here. Let me just look at it, eyeball it real quick. Uh, y'all give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, I know what it is. Soft tube. The console one. The console one plugins or whatever that's built in that ecosystem. When you turn that stuff, you instantaneously hear the sound. And that's why I've been using Plugin Alliance since goddamn 2017. It's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? Because they do a pretty good job. I can't hold them to it, you know what I'm saying? They do a really pretty good job. But that stuff like Waves, some of Slate Digital stuff is a little iffy. You gotta let me take that back. Some of Slate Digital stuff, you gotta push it real hard. Waves, in my opinion, you have to push that real hard. Now, once you find a sweet spot with these plugins, they really do their job. Another one, honorable mention, is the mix box from IK Multimedia. Not the individual plugins. We're talking about the mix box, the 500 series of all of their plugins from IK Multimedia. They do a really good job too. But back to my theory. That's how you know you got a good plugin emulation. When you can turn your mouse and make a move on that parameter, you could definitely hear it and stuff like that, man. So said, like you said, he likes the drastic of, you know what I'm saying, of the vocal tone when you bypass the plugin on and off. That's the reaction that you need to get when you're demoing plugins. If you don't have that reaction like said right here, then that plugin is subpar. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's my opinion. But I mean, I ain't been doing this for 20 years straight in the box. You know what I'm saying? I've worked out of the box, but I say a good part of my experience is 75% in the box. So I know a lot about plugins. Mic DSP, they're almost there, but they're not up there with Plugin Alliance. Got to keep them in mind too. So, because they've been around for a minute as well, man. So I just wanted to kind of bring that up because what it said, man, that's a really good, really good comment right there. Says shout out to you, big dog. Yes, sir. So the drasticness, yeah, it's definitely night and day, but it definitely does, it flares up that vocal, you know what I'm saying? It definitely puts it out in front of the mix, and it's not really hiding like this. Nah, it makes the singer sound a little bit more confident, if I can explain the tone. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna keep that like that right there. Let's go ahead and engage the 10 dB boost on the input signal. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, it's going to change the behavior of the compressor. If my memory serves me correctly, on the hardware of the 737 and my play around last night with this plugin as well. So I'm gonna have to scale back the input signal in order to get my behavior back to where it was on this gain reduction meter. But you're gonna notice, you know what I'm saying, what I want you to notice is, does the signal get a little warm? Does it take away from the presence? Does it make it sound round? Does it make it sound fuzzy? I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that. Put a comment in below, you know what I'm saying? Chop it up with me or put the comment in there. I'll definitely be paying attention to this video in the future or whatnot, man. But just let you know what your thoughts is when we engage this extra 10 dB of boost on the input signal. I have to scale it back because it's going to definitely give me a lot of compression. And I'll try to make a audible adjustment for as what this is going to do. So don't hold me to it, but let's go. I'm going to play it back again, and then I'm going to go ahead after a bar and engage it and see what happens.
You were never that good to me anyway. Criticize me and cut me down every day. I finally found the strength to leave.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, now I can see.
We're just gonna keep it at 0. Now I'm gonna have to adjust our threshold.
I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities. Yeah. Oh, perfect for you. If I don't love me too.
So it really makes the vocal, in my opinion, y'all comment below. comment below. But it makes the vocal sound warm. But it takes that edge off, you know what I'm saying, of the vocal or whatnot. So you can actually, you know what I'm saying, do what you do with the plugin and have this engaged. But again, it's all about tones chasing. And that's what I normally, if you're in the studio with me and we not in the internet world or whatnot, I'm gonna throw all kind of different damn slangs. You're not tone chasing. And what tone chasing is like, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to find that tone and you turn it everything or whatnot. Basically, you're going to either choose it from this stage on right here, you know what I'm saying? So if you like that warm sound, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like it and you like that more modern sound, then throw that out the mix. You know what I'm saying? But they both sound good. So let me see.
You were never that good to me anyway. Criticize me and cut me down every day. I finally found the strength to leave you behind.
It's a toss up. So when I have this engaged, definitely what I hear, even though we have a cut in the lows, you know what I'm saying, it still adds some low presence to the signal or whatnot. So I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I'll keep it off. You know what I'm saying? But it just depends. If it was a female and she was very light ended and she didn't have a lot of bass in her voice, then that extra 10 dB a gain would probably definitely go, you know what I'm saying, really well and complement that voice and stuff like that. So it just depends on your sound source, you know what I'm saying, that this will work. You know what I'm saying? It's not a deal breaker. It's not a, yes, you got to have it in there or not. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what your sound source is or whatever the case may be. All right, so that's that on that. And let me get this back to where I had it.
Oh, now I can see. Oh, I feel complete, yeah. Oh, I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities, yeah. Oh, perfect for you. If I don't love me too, yeah. Oh, I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true, yeah. I'm good without you. I'm good without you.
All right, so we kind of got back to an audible playing field for us turning the plugin on and off. That is the B version. Let's go to the A version, play around with this, then we'll go to the actual hook bus and we'll play around with that to see how it sounds with multiple vocals running through this plugin. So let's just, I'm not going to talk on this one, on the A version. I'm just going to do my thing. Actually, on this one, let's go ahead and engage the 10 dB. So one without and one with. We have a different EQ curve. You know what I'm saying? We have more low cut. So this will complement that 10 dB boost. Let's make the change. We'll do an A-B comparison and see what happens. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. You were never that good to me anyway. Criticize me and cut me down every day. I finally found the strength to leave you behind. Oh, now I can see. Oh, I feel complete, yeah. Oh, I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities, yeah. Oh, perfect for you. Oh, I feel complete, yeah. Oh, I'm loving my flaws and eccentricities, yeah. Oh, perfect for you. If I don't love me too, yeah. Oh, I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true, yeah. I'm good without you. I'm good without you. Whoa, whoa.
All right, let's bring this one section back. If we was to zoom out on this vocal, it seems like it has the better consistency right here. But let's scroll down and listen to a different selection, and let's focus in on this take right here and see how that sound. We're gonna do a A/B comparison because it's something that I haven't heard just yet in this session. So let's go ahead and do this A/B comparison. Two totally different settings on the compression and EQ. This is what the A looked like. This is what the B look like. We'll go back and forth. Side note, I don't know if there's a difference with the hardware when it comes to the silver face or the black face. Don't hold me to it. I don't know, but they sound similar to me. I think it's just really a color preference. But let's go ahead and do an A/B comparison and see what happens.
I had to lose my sight to free my mind. Now I understand how I've been so blind. I have renewed hope.
All right, cool deal. So what one thing I did notice is the A version is a little bit low for as the volume, and the B it's out there. You feel me? So let me gain match the output gain coming out and by audible adjustment, and that way we have a fair A/B comparison. All right.
I had to lose my sight to free my mind. I had to lose my sight. I had to lose my sight to free my mind. Now I understand how I've been so blind. I have renewed hope, 'cause now I know that I'm already perfect.
Very interesting. Let's play that back one more time.
I had to lose my sight to free my mind. Now I understand how I've been so blind. I have renewed hope.
Oh crap! I know what I did. I'm sorry. That somehow got off. That's why. Okay. All right. Let's do this again. I knew something was off or whatnot. I didn't. So on the black one, I must have clicked it by accident. But let's do this again.
I had to lose my sight to free my mind. Now I understand how I've been so blind. I have renewed hope, 'cause now I know that I'm already perfect. I've fallen out of love with you. Hey.
All right. Cool deal. So biggest difference, and I hope if you notice the difference, comment down below. But to me, I think when you engage this extra 10 dB on the input signal, it definitely introduces tube overdrive, or it introduces a tube overdrive saturated type of signal, which brings out some of those lower frequencies on the sound source. And I tried to match everything for as volume parameters, everything to the T. And what I'm noticing, just the biggest difference, I mean, of course, you're going to have a difference with EQ and compression settings or whatnot. But when it comes to the tonality of what this is doing underneath the hood, is this right here. We have the tubes in here. All right. So this right here, you know what I'm saying, with all of this that you see, AB, you know what I'm saying? This is going to give you a extended low end on your sound source, not by much, but it's going to be a subtle difference or whatnot. So now let me do this. I'm gonna play this section back again on the bridge. I think that's the bridge. It may be a pre-bridge, I don't know, but we're gonna turn the tubes off. I kind of want to see how they sound in discrete. Let's see.
I had to lose my sight to free my mind. Now I understand how I've been so blind. I have renewed hope, 'cause now I know that I'm already perfect. I've fallen out of love with you. Perfect. I've fallen out of love with you.
All right, so when the TSP or the the tube signal path is not engaged, you have more of a thinner sound. It's not as rounded, it's not as warm, it's not as hard soft. I know that that's a way left field or whatnot, but it's not. It doesn't have that soft or that soft saturation to it or whatnot. It's definitely thin. It uh, it doesn't have any weight to it. There you go. But when you do have it engaged, that vocal has some weight to it or whatnot. So this is probably going to be in probably 99.9% of the time for me, stuff like that, unless I have a sound source that is super bass heavy, kind of like my voice. If I was to, do a little something on the microphone, I could probably get away with that not being in. And then now you're really dealing with more of a discrete signal path, kind of like, you're running and you're compressing some vocals through 1176, but you get that weighted type of sound and that warmth type of sound with the La 2A, two totally different compressors, but one is tube, one is FET type of compression or whatnot, but it's a clean signal. It doesn't have any tubes dealing with it. So the weight, when it's not engaged, you definitely don't have weight to your sound source or whatnot, man. What's it said, man? I'm sorry, bro. My bad. I got caught up in talking, man. Yeah, it's really nice. Just to talk about what Sid said, the compression is pretty nice, very similar to analog compression flavor, and you're on the money, man. It's really nice. It really does have that, but it's like I said in my analogy, it's like being on a waterbed. You know what I'm saying? You have to almost know how to lay down on a waterbed just to be still. If you a person that move around and stuff like that, that's what you're gonna be doing. So it's very if you know how to control compression, it shouldn't be a problem. But if you don't understand compression and you have a hard time understanding what attack and release does and how you can control that gain reduction meter or control compression, this compressor is gonna be really hard to grasp and stuff like that. But it definitely has an analog style type of situation, man. And appreciate you too, man. Appreciate you, man. Go get you some sleep, man. I need to be doing the same thing too, because 4:30 coming real quick, man. All right, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. Big City said, man. All right, cool, man. So what we're gonna do now, we talked about that on the lead vocal. Now what we're gonna do is I like the B version and everything like that. So I'm gonna keep the B version on the lead. Now what we're gonna do is go over to the actual vocal bus, and now we're gonna apply this on the actually not the vocal bus, excuse me. We're gonna go to this yellow section here. Excuse me. Now go to this yellow section and check out what this is doing here. So let's go ahead and mute the lead. All right, I'm gonna mute that lead bus, and we're gonna play everything that is in yellow. Let's unmute all of that, and let's go ahead and route that to the let's say the hook right there. All right, let's confirm we got everything routed correctly.
Perfect for I'll never be worth that if I don't love you. If I don't love you, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you.
All right, so this hook bus right here, it's not, you know what I'm saying, it's not mixed, it's not panned. I mean, everything is straight in the middle. All volumes is coming from whatever DAW they recorded in or whatnot. So we're just gonna go ahead and just try to shape it up as best as we possibly can with the Avalon plugin. Again, this is just test purposes, you know what I'm saying, live stream review or whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw this on the black color, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I like that color right there, yeah. All right, we got a lot of low end on this hook, so we ain't even gonna engage that 10 dB for sure. But what I am going to do is, because we got a lot of vocals combined, I'm going to turn the tube circuit off, or the tube signal path off, and then we're going to actually work with this in discrete, because we're trying to, carve out some of that low end on this vocal bus that has no type of processing on it. That is all. So I'm just gonna do my thing, and if I stop, I'm just trying to keep y'all up to date with what I'm doing. All right, let's go. And I'm gonna put a little loop right here. All right, here we go.
If I don't love you, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love love you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect for I'll never be worth that if I don't love you. If I don't love you, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect for I'll never be worth that if I don't love you. If I don't love you, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and go to the compressor section. I tried to shape it as much as possible as hand. You know what I'm saying? We talking about what shit look like 10, 12, 13 about yeah, buddy. Look like we got doggone 13. Yeah, we got about like 10 tracks, you know what I'm saying? All combined, different harmonies and stuff like that, different tones, different octaves, different pitches and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be a little rough when you're trying to EQ and you can't carve out some individual things or whatnot, man. So don't hold me to it. Don't hold me to it now. Don't hold me to it. You know what I'm saying? But definitely let's go ahead and bring that back up here. All right, so kind of got the EQ making the vocal bus sound something presentable, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot. Now let's just go ahead and do a little quick compression here real quick.
Perfect for I'll never be worth that if I don't love you. If I don't love you, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect for I'll never be worth that if I don't love you. If I don't love you, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect for I'll never be worth that if I don't love you. If I don't love you, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect for I'll never be worth that if I don't love you. If I don't love you, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
All right, so let me stop. And now we're gonna focus on the side chain thing. I noticed something that just popped in my mind. All right, cool deal. So you get this plug in, you're working with it, and you get curious, you want to get brave, and you want to play around with that side chain section. All right, when that part when you go, that part when he's pushing that pitch, and stuff like that, you'll notice that certain frequencies in that high mid that he's singing is pushing that compressor to be a little bit more aggressive than I want it to. I kind of want it to be more steady on the reduction and everything like that. But you know what I'm saying, what I'm gonna do when he's going, he's got a swell in his voice. So he's going low, going high, going low, going high with the volume of his voice. Different pitches, different takes is going to push any compressor or whatnot. So this has a sidechain feature, right? We're not gonna work with the low end because we ain't got no low end in it. But we do got a little bit of high mid in there. So what we're gonna do is find those frequency range, so to speak, by way of the sidechain threshold and the adjustment on the frequency. And we're gonna find where that's at, and then we're gonna adjust the threshold so we can scoop that part. That way we get more of a smoother behavior on the compressor. All right, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Let me play it back for you guys. Look at the needle. Look at, and what I'm talking about, look at the needle, and it's going to react to what he's singing. Check it out. You see that needle goes right there around about -5 dB on the, -5 on the gain reduction meter. It's pushing. As soon as he lets off of that little section, it goes back to -3. That's where you know you have a, a lot of volume pushing in that one frequency range, and it's causing that pumping behavior on the compressor. We wanted it a little bit smoother and stuff like that, man. So what we're going to do now is engage the sidechain. Turn it on first. It's going to be this input button right here to engage it. So we engage it. Everything is live, the low frequency and the high frequency or whatnot. If you keep it straight up at 12 o'clock, you ain't messing with that low end. But what we're going to affect is the high end. All right. So what you can do is, it's going to be kind of hard trying to figure out where the motherfucking goddamn high frequency at. Well, they got a sidechain listen button on here. That way you can kind of fine tune where that high end that you want to make an adjustment to, so you can have a smoother compression. So let's go ahead and engage that on there real quick.
Perfect, I'm good without you.
All right. Now I did that on purpose. I moved that frequency knob so you can see what's going on. I'm a teacher type of guy. So when I move this knob, you ain't getting nothing, right? Common folk probably gonna do that, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to work nothing, but you know how stuff's supposed to sound, and you don't know what parameter means, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna move this and you're gonna be stuck like Chuck trying to figure it out. So let me help you out. All right, so you moving this, ain't nothing happening. That's because you haven't engaged the threshold far as, do you want do you want threshold to duck, or you want threshold to bring up? So basically, do you want downward compression or you want upward compression to carve out the sidechain frequency? I hope I didn't lose anybody, but that's basically what the sidechain is doing. It's using compression with the sidechaining frequency. Sidechaining is basically finding the frequency, and it's going to use upward or downward compression to scoop out that frequency range so you can have smoother compression. If you watch a video on multiband compression, if you watch a video on dynamic EQ, that's basically what you're doing. You have a 2-band dynamic EQ built into the compressor circuit, or you have a 2-band multiband type of situation here. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? Don't get caught up on sidechain. But I wish they can word stuff a little bit differently. But I mean, they're trying to emulate plug-in. So there it is right there. That's basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're using upward compression, which is going to bring stuff up. Downward compression is going to scoop it out or pump it down or take it out of there or whatnot. So in this case, let's find out what's what. You know what I'm saying? So we got it. Sidechain listen in. So basically, what this is basically telling us, sidechain listen, is we're listening to what frequency we want to affect. We have to turn this to make that effect go into effect. All right, let's go. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and mute the beat so you can actually hear what's going on.
If I don't love, I'll never be honest. If I lie to love, if I lie to love you.
So this is a plus value right here. I had to get close in the camera so, you know what I'm saying, I can make this interactive as possible. But you're pushing it up 15 dB or whatnot. And when you push it up 15 dB, you're basically pushing up the threshold to say, hey, we need compression to come up at a certain frequency spot. So right now you're listening at all those frequencies around give or take around about a 1,000. You know what I'm saying? You're taking all of that range. I don't know what the Q band width is or whatnot, what's built underneath the schematics and everything like that. But shit, everything around about 1,000, you're turning that shit up. That's why you turn it up plus whatever value that you're trying to hear. When you reduce it, check this out.
Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
Somewhere around there. And I may have explained this wrong. Hold on. Let me see. Tell me. Yeah, no, we good. It's hard to wrap your mind around it. And let me explain myself, because I know somebody gonna come check me tomorrow or later on or whatnot. You're turning it negative down, but it's actually bringing out the frequency. But it's working in reverse when you engage that listening button, if that makes any sense. But when you take it on the plus, you actually hearing the scoop out of it. So it's kind of like you're hearing in reverse, but by way of you're trying to find that frequency. So don't let the 15 and the negative 15 and the plus 15 get you confused, because it got me too last night, but I had to understand, well, fuck, it's meant for you to understand and really listen and stuff like that. But I explained it correctly before I actually had to stop myself. So, but it can kind of throw you in a loop, because if you're going negative, then why you hearing positive frequencies? That makes any sense. And versus, you know what I'm saying? So that's all it is, man. That listening thing is just kind of make you hear in reverse.
I'll never be honest if I lie to love. If I lie to love you.
I think that's it right here.
Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
That's it right there. I thought it was around about 1.6K, but it's actually, you're sitting right underneath 2K. So it's around about, give or take, probably about like 1.5, 1.7, 1.9. I don't know. It's not telling me up here on this little field right here, but we found it. So what we're gonna do is set it back to default, put it back right at 1200. We're gonna disengage the sidechain listening button. We're gonna keep the sidechain in, and all we gotta do is just scoop that bad boy out, take it out. So we found our frequency. We're gonna go ahead and take it out. You know what I'm saying? And watch when I go counterclockwise. Watch that needle not gonna pump on where he's saying, oh. And stuff. It's gonna be more smooth. It's probably gonna stick around about in between 3 to 5 right there. I don't know, give or take. But let's go ahead and see what happens.
Perfect for you.
I'm just gonna wait on that section I'm talking about. Let me exaggerate a little bit more threshold so you can actually see what I'm talking about.
Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect for you. I'll never be worth that if I don't love. If I don't love, I'll never be honest if I lie to love. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
There it is.
Perfect, I'm good without you.
Now let me take that threshold back to where I had it at, about right there.
Perfect for I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
See what I'm saying? So when you take it off, play that section back.
Love you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
Engage it now.
Perfect for I'll never be never be honest if I lie to love you. If I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
All right, we're gonna play that section back again. Take it out.
Perfect, I'm good without you.
I hope you're listening to the pumping action of the compressor. Bring it back in. It's gonna sound like it's louder, but it's actually not. You know what I'm saying? It's compressing, but it's keeping everything, it's controlling the dynamics, and it's not allowing that resonant frequency range to basically make the compressor overwork than what you want it to or whatnot. It's it's hard to kind of explain, but it makes sense once you kind of like you put your hands on it or whatnot, and everything like that. But that's perceived loudness that you're actually hearing, because you're thinking, oh well, it sounds like, man, you turned it up in that little frequency range. Nah, not really. Let's play it with the music, and it actually makes sense. So let's unmute that, and let's start with that same section. We're gonna take the side chain out, and now we're gonna hear it with the music.
I'm good without you.
All right, we're gonna play that same section again. Engage the side chain. So it just depends on what your mixing decision is, because this is a decision move. It's no right or wrong way. It just depends on what you're trying to. If you want that pumping effect in there, cool. If you want to maintain vocals on your vocal, on this vocal run or whatnot and stuff like that, that's your decision. You know what I'm saying? But that's the function is there for you to utilize, and that's what that's made for right there. It works kind of like the same. If you don't want the 80, if you want that 808 to kind of cut through the mix, then you would probably use this side, the lower frequency side, so that 808 doesn't boom, 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 boom. When you have a compressor on there, it's gonna duck. You see what I'm saying? But you put that side chain function on, it's gonna retain that low frequency. You know what I'm saying, to not basically duck the compression. So I know that was a lot to digest on that section right there, but I just kind of wanted to show you what it would do on vocals, because that's probably the hardest thing to tame when it comes to sidechain and vocals and stuff like that. You could do that with an instrument source all day long, but when it comes to vocals, it's really, really hard. So that was a good example right there. I didn't know he had that part in there or whatnot. And I just got this session like shit probably last week. I cut it open and everything like that, and I went on ahead about my business. So I didn't really pay attention to what sections are or whatnot. So that was a good example right there, man. So that's what the vocal bus is right there. Let's go ahead and play this little section, and we'll just turn this on and off just to see what happens.
If I don't love, I'll never be honest. If I lie to love, if I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
Yeah. So I had to make a quick decision there because I was gonna leave this off, but when I heard the raw tracks, there's really not a pump effect going on the raw tracks. So I heard that on the first that first phrase of this little section right here, and I heard it was like it was straight through. It wasn't really kind of like this right there. So split decision. I went on ahead and engaged it, and it kept the consistency along with the raw unprocessed signal that you get out of the vocal bus. So that is the vocal bus right there. Lastly but not least, we're going to go to our last and final example with the Avalon VT-747SP, and we're going to put this on the beat, you know. I'm sorry about that. We're gonna put this on the beat, and everything like that. So, in a nutshell, I mean, if you kind of like in your studio, you get the plug-in and everything, or if you want to try the demo, because you can try the demo. Side note: if any plug-in manufacturer gives you a demo, they good. They legit. They ain't got nothing to hide. Some of these shady ass plug-in manufacturers is not gonna have a demo. If you can't demo a plug-in, they probably got bad business practices, stuff like that. Rule of thumb and stuff like that. You kind of want to demo something, especially a digital product, especially in the audio mixing world and everything like that. If you can't demo it, but I'm gonna pay you X amount of dollars and you can't demo it, then if I don't like it, can I get my money back? Probably a hell no. Because digital products, I mean, ain't really no returns on those. So if they don't have a demo, a little shaky, or whatnot. That's why I do a lot of subscriptions. I fuck with it. If I don't like it, shit, I paid you $15 just to demo it. I paid you $20 just to demo it, or $25. I'm done with it. Or I like this one plug-in, I'll go ahead and invest into that, stuff like that. That's just a side note right there, man. Let's go ahead and check the beat out on the on this hook part right here, just to see how the plug-in sounds on actually, you know what? We'll do this even better. Not on the actual beat. We'll put it on everything, the whole mix. So we'll go to our sub mix right here.
Perfect, perfect for you. I'll never be worth that if I don't love me too. I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Oh.
All right, cool. Again, if anyone's tuning in, I mean, this is raw vocals, and I didn't want to come on here and you have like processed tracks and everything like that, because a mix is almost like storytelling, and stuff like that. It's almost like you're writing. So what you're doing is you got the piece of paper, and you know what I'm saying, you write everything on that blank piece of paper, but you want to make copies of that. That's basically kind of like what mixing does. The better the printer, the better the copies is going to be. The same thing with your mixing. The vocals, when you record vocals, is the pencil on the paper, the handwriting on the paper. You know what I'm saying? When you're mixing, now it's how good is that printer? How good is the resolution? How good is the toner, the needle that actually, print all the ink on the paper itself, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically what mixing is or whatnot. So what you're getting right now is nothing really polished. Everything is really raw, because I want you to understand how the plugin really kind of works on raw material and stuff like that. Because if you put it on something that already sound good, then what's the point? You're not really going to understand what it really does. It's the same theory when you actually have hardware. So I'm just stressing all of that stuff, because a lot of people be on YouTube doing the most and commenting on shit they don't even really kind of understand. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And like I said, I'm ready. Stuff like that, man. So let's go ahead and put it on the sub mix here. We're really not gonna worry about what color it is or whatnot, but I this is gonna be my first time putting it on like an overall track, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But what I do know, what I'm gonna do on the compressor is put it at 2-to-1. Let's see here, and I'm making sure that's 2 right here on the ratio right there. So what the fuck? It says 2 right here, but it's actually on 3. Huh. Interesting. Huh. So if you know anything about personas, when you turn the parameter on any plugin, regardless of what plugin it is, you have an exact measurement right here. It's showing 2.0. Okay, that's 2-to-1. But on here, it's showing like right at 3. When you put it on the line, it's at 1.7. When you put it on 2, it's at 1.3. God damn. Okay. I don't know if that's a glitch or, it's going to come with the follow up over release. and everything like that, where they fix, you know what I'm saying, some of those things right there. But I'll try to make sure I shoot an email to them and let them know like the representation is off a little bit in Studio One, far as what their values are and stuff like that. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna go with how I would look at it if it was hardware, and I'm just gonna put it right here. What we're gonna do is put the attack at all the way slow, my release all the way fast, my threshold all the way there. I'm gonna keep the comp before the EQ. That's how I normally roll on my mastering type stuff. I'm gonna take the tube signal path out because I want a clean possible signal, you know what I'm saying, coming through, because we got all the tracks going into one routing or whatnot. So I don't want to color that sound. I will engage it just to see what it does, but for right now, I'm just gonna turn that off. We're gonna get back to this and probably on the low end, okay? And we'll play around with the EQ, and we should be good to go. We'll make the makeup gain adjustments as followed. So we're gonna work basically from left to right. Let's see what happens.
I'll never be perfect for you. I'll never be worth that if I don't love me too. I'll never be honest if I lie to love you.
See how sensitive this compressor is?
Good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect for you. I'll never be worth that if I don't love me too. I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. Perfect,
I like the squeeze right around here. I like what it's doing. It kind of glues the mix in. I don't want to push too much volume going into the plug-in because I don't want this to behave so aggressively. This thing is very, very sensitive. So let me do that again. I'm just gonna push the input just for shits and giggles and see what happens here. And why the hell we okay, hold on 1 second, y'all. I hit something. I turned something solo. Let me do something real quick. What the hell just happened? I hit a button. There we go.
oh, perfect for I'll never be worth that. Cause an eccentricity. I'll never be perfect for you. Oh, perfect for I'll never be worth that if I don't love me. If I don't love I'll me, I'll never be honest if I lie to love you. I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true.
Okay, so when you push that input, it's actually behaving pretty well and everything like that. So what I'm gonna do is make sure that I get to a target range. So let me do this real quick, and hopefully this thing don't act a fool or whatnot. Let's see here. There we go. We're gonna pull up the metric AB plug in just to see where we at and everything like that. I like to have my loudness at a competitive level at around about -10 LUFS, but I'm gonna try to keep this sub mix at around -12 on the LUFS. But when I'm finishing out a mix, -10. We hit -10, not to exceed -10 for us going up into -9. -10, round about that little sweet spot right there, or whatnot. So we're gonna hit -12, or whatnot, and we're gonna try to push this. So let me try to get some shit oriented on the screen here. All right, there we go, and let's go ahead and let's do this real quick. Let's go with a small view. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, and let's throw that right here, and then we get the Avalon. There we go. All right, cool. So I'll keep it right there. We already have it in loop. So that may be a little bit too small. Appreciate you, big dog. Los the King. Appreciate you. So now what we're gonna do, I hope y'all can see that. But if it starts to peak in -12, it'll start turning red right here on the meters, or whatnot. But let's go ahead and push this to see what happens.
Perfect, I'm good without
Yeah, we already pushing.
Perfect, I'm good without you.
I'm just gonna put that back on this default value. Matter of fact, I just turn it off because we already there. So it's no even point to even push this no more from its default position. So yeah, that was just I guess a test, whatnot. So we just really gonna adjust the threshold and adjust accordingly.
One thing I know to be true. Perfect, I'm good without you. I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm
All right, another thing I want you to pay attention to is every time that kick drum, boom, 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 boom. I didn't make the beat. And that ain't me on the beat. You know what I'm saying? I think the only thing I did on the beat was I put the little acoustic guitar in there. I think that's the only thing I did to collaborate with his producer. But you know what I'm saying? You hear that kick drum, right? Boom, 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 boom. Watch the needle. I normally like to, on a sub mix, I normally like to have like my compression around about -1. You know what I'm saying? Just to glue it a little bit. But that kick drum is starting to act a little bit around about -2, sometimes hitting 3. Just depends on the velocity of that kick. So what we're going to do is work with the side chain on the low frequency side.
good without you. Perfect, I'll never be worth that if I don't love me. If I don't love me, I'll never be honest if I like to. I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true. Perfect, I'm good without you. I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
All right, cool. So I kind of adjusted where I'm not taking out too much because that kick it needs to be compressed just a little bit. But I just used my ears and made the adjustment where the kick is kind of being compressed very softly on the top end, as far as the beater of the kick, that part of the kick right there. So not the low end, but the beater of the kick. So it's compressing just a little bit, you know, just a little shave or whatnot. So that's basically what the sidechain function does right there. So let's go ahead and go over to the EQ side.
One thing I know to be true. Perfect, I'm good without you. I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you. Perfect, I'll never be worth that if I don't love me. If I don't love me, I'll never be honest if I like to. I don't know that much. One thing I know to be true. Perfect, I'm good without you. I'm good without you. Perfect, I'm good without you.
Man. All right. That EQ section, is yeah. Once you start getting right around these two motherfuckers right here is a motherfucker. So you got to be careful when you're messing with that 5K shelving and that 32K shelving. When you work both of those, you can get that sheen. You can get that top end like you want. But yeah, you got to be careful in that section right there. Otherwise, it's going to be a very brittle mix or whatnot. Again, the raw tracks on this vocal is really not treated individually. I know there's certain things that you probably have to scoop out on individual takes or whatever the case may be, but that EQ is very effective, man. I mean, if you're buying a plug-in like I did, I bought it for the EQ section, to be honest with you, because there's just some tracks that I have that I want that top end, and I mean, I'll try the Mog, you know what I'm saying, which is this EQ right here. Um, just so I'm not, you know what I'm saying, shooting the shit to y'all or whatnot, but this EQ right here, man. Um, this EQ, this is it. This little motherfucker right here is the actual hardware unit. And I done played around with this one too at school. When I was in audio school. It's very effective. It definitely give you that high end. So we're gonna turn off the Avalon, right? Matter of fact, we'll do this. We'll keep that compressor on. I'm gonna turn the EQ off. All right. What we got? We got a 3 dB bump on the low end. We got a scoop at what shit, the goddamn 100 hertz right there. We ain't even fuck with this one. Yeah, the 500. We have a little bump right there on the 2. We got a little bump right there, woo, 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 right? So when we go to the Mog, so in essence, compressor, then it goes into, we got this one off. We'll go into the Mog, and I'm gonna try to basically match the same tonage here. Now on the Mog, this one actually goes up to 40. With the Avalon, it goes up to 32. So I'm gonna try to meet in the middle, and I'm just gonna go to 40. You feel me? And I'm gonna turn this up right here and see if I can match the authenticity on that high end. All right, so the orange is at a 2.5 kilohertz high shelf, right? Same thing here. It's the yellow and the orange. They both doing the same thing as this plug-in right here, the 747. They both doing the same thing. 2 high shelving in there, right? Theoretically speaking. Because the airband don't tell you what it is, but it's actually a shelf. But anyway, I barely got a touch here on the 32, and I'm barely touching it on the 5 here on the EQ here. I'm at 0.5 here and 0.5. Those, the 747 is variable. You know what I'm saying? Program EQ, variable, no steps. The Mog EQ has steps. So the step from 0 is 0.5. So I just got these values at 0.5, and we're just going to turn this EQ off and turn the other one on just to see how it sounds. All right. But the frequencies are off because the airband is at 40,000 and then 2.5 versus this being at 5 right here, 5,000 on the high shelf and 32,000 on the high shelf. So it's going to be some differences. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying, goddamn A and B comparison right here. I just want you to hear, you know, what that high end does, you know what I'm saying? Because you may not want to use the EQ. It may sound better on this one. I don't know, shit. But, you know, we just fucking around. All right, so here we go. We're gonna turn that EQ off again. They sound different. They sound different, even though the values are saying 40,000 hertz on the airband, and you got a 2.5 high shelving slope on this high shelving right here. yeah, and theoretically, you hearing those numbers, and you be like, okay, well, this is gonna sound a little bit more brittle, a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? But actually, I don't know what the hell they got in the circuitry of hardware unit plugin emulation. I don't know. I don't build plugins and stuff like that. But this screaming. This is screaming. And oh goddamn. Yeah, let's do that again. One more time. One more time. So what you're gonna hear is the Mach EQ 747 compressor only. All right. All right, gonna turn off the miles. Damn, that's incredibly close right there. I mean, you can hear the differences, but they close though. You know what I'm saying? This one seems like it's a little bit more tame. This one right here, you got to be careful, man. Be careful on these last two bands to the right, man. Other than that, though, man, my final synopsis on this plugin here, oh man, let me get some background music here for a second. All right, cool deal, man. So, yeah, that's gonna probably, wrap it up for us. What we're gonna be talking about on this plugin right here. I just kind of wanted to do a live review and everything like that. Let's get this out the way because it's not the point. The point of the video is this right here, man. Really, really good plugin. I have to say, the hardware version, I never worked with it, but I have worked with the 737. I also have the UAD 737. I do not have it on my computer because I do not have a UAD interface anymore. That is a whole nother discussion, but let me just sum it down to you. You ain't missing nothing. I bought a couple of subpar interfaces, Focusrite, Personas. The selling point with UAD, with interfaces, with the Apollo, I'm only speaking for the USB Windows Apollo twin interface. I know somebody gonna eat my ass up in the goddamn comments or whatnot, but this is my opinion. I wasn't too pleased when you record through a UAD interface and you don't have anything on there. I'm talking about microphone, mic cable, into the input, no unison plugins, straight to the DAW. I wasn't too impressed with the raw vocal. It sounded better on a Focusrite. It sounded better on a Personas. That's my opinion. But the UAD version of the of the Avalon 737, I was utilizing that on as a unison preamp, as far as the compression and EQ and stuff like that, and it did a pretty good job. But again, that's technology, that's stuff underneath the hood, that's digital and hardware working together to give you that sound that you're looking for. So UAD got some magic in those interfaces by way of unison preamps and stuff like that. So I had to make a tough decision and I got rid of the UAD, and I really haven't skipped the beat with recording. I mean, shit, you know what I'm saying? I started recording more through hardware processors for as, 1176, La2A clones, stuff like that, and the Persona Studio channel. Those three processors definitely give me a way better sound than the UAD interface with a unison plugin. You see what I'm saying? So that's my opinion. But speaking on the two differences or whatnot, I mean, they both are unique in their own. The 737 was I say the parametric EQ was the selling point there. I wasn't a fan of the compressor on the 737 as far as the UAD plugin is concerned. This is a native plugin, okay? This is native. You don't need an interface. Load it up, you're good to go. You can actually track with this, depending on your DAW and how you can track with plugins. You can track with this. You can track with this in Studio One. You know what I'm saying? Just throw it on your input channel. For the folks that don't understand Studio One and how it works, There you go, right there. You hit the input channel monitoring section here. Whatever channel that you're monitoring, recording through, just put a plugin on there and you can track through that plugin. So if you buy this, there you go. You know what I'm saying? You can track through an Avalon and get that Avalon, quote unquote Avalon sound, whatnot, man. But man, this plugin sounds really, really good though. I ain't gonna lie. For a native plugin at that, yeah, you can't beat it, man. I'm very impressed with it. I'm not gonna say it's the holy grail, but like I said before, in my theory, 20 years of experience, man. Proud to say that with a degree in audio and stuff like that. I stand 10 toes on that. It's not being egotistical. It's about me being confident and loving what I do. I done tried thousands, not thousands. Let me not exaggerate that, but I done tried hundreds of plugins. And there's quite a few of them that make you say, yeah, I'll be using that one. Or when I change something, when I turn this slider here or I turn this knob here, I hear instantaneously changes to the audio. This plugin does it. Like I said, there's very few of them out there that do that. You always got to push them to the max or do too much to them in order to bring out a sound that you're really searching for as tones or anything like that. So this plugin is pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Is it a grab? That's the question. Yes, it is. Right now, it has an introductory sale at $79 on the Kazrog website. So go make sure you go ahead and pick that up. Kazrog did not pay me for this. I'm doing this by my love of music, by my love of audio, by my love of media, my expertise, me working in the box for all these years. I'm doing this because I'm a fan of plugins and I'm a fan of Avalon, just like I'm a fan of SSL and stuff like that. So hell no, I ain't getting paid. Shit, I still got lint in my pockets, you feel me? So I'm doing YouTube because I'm trying to help somebody else understand something. Okay, I'm not in it for to keep the lights on. If it happens, cool, not a problem. But I'm well off and I'm doing very, very good without a YouTube channel. So I do this so I can help people out and stuff like that. So yes, go ahead and buy this plugin if you have a need for it. If you're not really working with vocals and you're doing just straight beats, this probably ain't gonna work for you. You know what I'm saying? You could probably use it with guitar, but the Avalon stuff, it really works good with acoustical type material, not electronically program material. What I mean by that is vocals, guitars, recorded pianos, tambourines, anything that has to be recorded with the actual microphone. Avalon is good for you. If you making beats with goddamn fucking VST samplers and shit like that, it'll work, but it ain't gonna really shine like it will with the actual recorded source. So this plugin will not be for you. So that's a good explanation for anyone out there that's trying to make that decision. Hey, I make beats solely and stuff like that, but if you do record your homeboy and y'all really want a good sound coming into the DAW and stuff like that, check out the Avalon for sure, man. Run this video back and check it out and see if it works for you or whatever the case may be. I did not put it on individual instruments on the instrumental because the instrumental is pretty much 98% all digital, and it's not a recorded material or anything like that. So that's why I didn't do any instrumentation examples for any technical people out there that think like I do. Stuff like that, man. So yeah, this plugin is really, really good, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It does wonders on vocals. I didn't want to do rap vocals because I think it wouldn't have done the plugin justice on rap vocals because you got somebody that has a constant volume. This gentleman, shout out to my boy DeShaman for the vocals and everything like that. R&B artist out of Atlanta, Georgia that I'm working with for the second time around. You feel me? I just don't do hip hop. I do R&B too. I do a little gospel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You give me a vocal, I know what to do with it, baby. But anyway, man, that's being ego. Whatnot, man. But real talk, man. I chose the R&B route just to review this plugin because you have variations in the voice or whatnot, and I think the Avalon is very complementary to that type of source material right there, man. Just speaking on the compressor, you have to understand compression in order to handle the compression on Avalon product, whether it's a plug-in or a compressor or the actual hardware. If you don't understand compression, your compression gonna be like you laying on the waterbed and you trying to get some. You ain't gonna have those. You ain't gonna have no stability, stuff like that. So you have to understand compression in order to learn how to brace that waterbed and do you do. You feel me? As far as the EQ is concerned, man, shit, bro. I mean, you be careful. Be careful, man, because you may bust a tweeter or you may bust some eardrums or whatnot. The high end is very, very sensitive, but it's very effective. So if you need to bring out some of those highs, adjust the 6th band first, then adjust slowly. You want to make sure you hit it at high end, put it up, and then bring it down to taste, and then everything else in between, do what you do. And also on the low end as well, if you're working with like a 808 on the mix or any type of low material or whatnot, make sure you turn it up, hear what you want to hear first, and then bring it back down. Adjust the taste. Everything else in the middle, be careful. Don't push it too much. This is not a surgical EQ. It's more of a tone shaper to shape the tone beautifully or whatnot, man. So other than that, man, I hope this video served you justice for us, your decision on getting this plug-in. But don't wait too long, because it ain't going to be $79 very long. I say give or take about 3 to 4 weeks, and then it's going to go back up to a $100 price point or whatnot, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Watch other people's videos out there and stuff like that, man. A lot of people have their own opinions. That's how I do my research. I watch different videos, and when I want to buy something and come up to a central hypothesis, and I'm like, okay, let's go with it and stuff like that. So I hope this video aid in your decision. But it was a no-brainer for me, man, because I just like Avalon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like it. And even if I come up in some money and I want to spend that $3,000 on a unit, I can't get the 747. So I could say, technically, I have the 747 or whatnot. But yes, on my bucket list as far as my studio equipment, the 737 is definitely on there, man. I don't know what I want, if it's a Neve and a Teletronics La 2A combo or the Avalon 737. I would probably go with the Avalon 737 because it just has that black people music. Let me just keep it 100 with you. Whatnot, man. You probably heard some of the Avalon stuff on a lot of countless of late 90s to early 2000 urban music or whatnot, whether it was hip-hop or R&B, especially like in that East Coast range. They was using Avalons a lot and stuff like that, man. And there's a couple of R&B artists and pop artists that still use Avalon today. Some engineers like some of your top engineers, you hear that high end and you thinking they're using exciters and stuff like that, you'll be surprised what they have in a rack. And all they have to do is just patch this EQ in, and they ain't fucking with the compression. They just bought the Avalon for one thing. Let me turn up that 32 band, and let me turn a little bit up that 5 band. Vocal is there. Everything else, I'm gonna use a Neve to scoop the mids and the lows and stuff like that, or SSL or something, whatever the case may be. So, you know, those are the type of decisions that you really need to make, man. But this plug-in, yeah, it's definitely at $79. Shit, UAD selling this motherfucker for like goddamn $200-300, man. So you can get the native version for $80. Man, stop playing with yourself, man. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here tonight, man. Again, man, y'all stay creative out here, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared to try anything. Do what you do, man. Have fun. Fuck up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to mess up. It's okay to fuck up somebody's session or whatnot, because I have plenty of times, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? But they didn't know, only I knew and stuff like that, man. But that's the only way you're gonna learn, is just to do and stop playing around and being scared of what it is or whatnot. Just do what you do, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole essence of learning and living life and growing old. Ain't nobody perfect, just like he said, or whatever he said in the damn song or whatnot. But shit, you know what I'm saying? That's life lessons, man. You know what I'm saying? Hell, we wouldn't be we wouldn't be in this goddamn world and be where we at right now if it wasn't mistakes and learning from those mistakes and building on that and progressing at the same time, man. So I'm gonna stop my yip yapping before I go to church on y'all and stuff like that, man. This has been your boy Super Mario, man. Again, Avalon 747 SP, excuse me, Avalon VT-747 SP emulated plug-in from Kazrog. Go check them out and stuff like that, man. Shout out to Kazrog for actually collaborating with Avalon and giving us something in the music community to be of a high quality in a native plugin format. And yeah, man, I'm very impressed with this plugin, man. So until next time, man, you have been in the year with your boy, man, Super Mario, man. We're gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and I'm gonna go ahead and get some sleep and stuff like that, man. Until next time, peace. Yes, sir.